My sister Elaine is very vivacious, outgoing, definitely not the shy one in the family. David is a man of few words.
Ready for a barbecue?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Growing up and having an older brother and sister who are mentally handicapped was very tough when we were young.
This is my brother Michael.
This is my brother Ken. It was great growing up as a child with Ken. I had some great memories, and I'm very thankful for him. He's a good guy.
When I was a kid at school, people would say, well, you know, you have a sister with, in those days they called people with developmental disabilities retarded. So I had to feel like I needed to protect Barb and to protect the rights of people who have a disability.
Well, I have a younger sister named Carolyn, and I have a brother named Craig.
Till the day she was born, I had absolutely no meeting or any dealings with anybody with a mental retardation. So they brought a baby into my room. They said, here's your baby, she's retarded, take her home and deal with it. My way to deal with it was to go home and get pregnant again, and Carolyn was born 11 months later.
I was a quiet child that was in the background, and usually very happy to be that way because Janice attracted attention. Janice was a drama queen. Janice cried. Janice latched on to people, and I just kind of wanted to hide and pretend I didn't know her a lot of the time. And my mother will dispute this, but that's how I remember it. She was always, and I mean, granted, she stayed home. She probably wanted to talk to adults at the end of the day, but really wanting attention and there never being enough.
Being defined as Janice's younger sister is a lot different than being defined as Carolyn. You know, whatever curricular activities, she was expected to sort of look after Janice. Oh, you're Janice's sister, well, make sure she does this and follows along and keeps up with everybody else.
When Carolyn was in her teens and she would state that she wanted Janice to die, that she wanted Janice to go to Woodlands, it concerned me a great deal because I felt that if Janice did die, it would leave a lot of guilt with Carolyn that she'd felt this way.
I can't remember when Carolyn was upset or anything. If it was over me, she has a perfect reason to.
The tough times that other siblings and families experience are pretty much the same. I felt I was giving responsibility beyond my years. Just after Dad had passed away, David started running away and, you know, doing little strange things like pretending he had a heart attack, and everybody basically suggested that Woodlands was the best place.
I was very young when the decision was made to put Barbara in Woodlands, which is an institution. I remember, you know, it was pretty scary for me as a child because sometimes when you go to Woodlands and we'd drop Barb off or we'd be picking her up and people would be, the people who were staying in the kids in Woodlands who had no family, they'd be screaming out the windows and wanting us to take them home because they could see Barb going home all the time. So it was a very, very difficult decision, and families to this day have a lot of grief about it.
At that time, we thought it was the best thing for him, but soon realized it wasn't, and I felt very guilty that I couldn't fix things, you know. That I couldn't fix the situation.
Some really interesting research has been done on what it's like for people who have a brother or sister with a developmental disability. They tend to be more in leadership roles, they're more humanitarian, they tend to be involved in helping professions.
My son now is a lawyer. He's a union lawyer, but I'm sure Craig realized early that there are minority groups that don't have all the rights and privileges the rest of us, and he early on in life began to realize that this was something people needed to fight for.
I think a lot of siblings of special needs people go into a lot of fields that have a caring base to them. I think it's like a basis that's been in their life all the time. And sometimes you have to go full circle before you actually realize it.
In deciding what I wanted to do with my life, whether it was, to make corporations rich or help people that were disadvantaged, it just seemed to me that, having the experience of a disabled sibling lent me to a job where I wanted to go out and do that, fight for the rights of the disadvantaged.
Well, I think some of the benefits are I wouldn't be doing my job that I have now if I hadn't had a mentally challenged sibling. I'm actually a resource teacher for teachers in the classroom that have difficulty with special needs children, and it's come full circle and worked out really well. But at 12 I would have told you, no, I hate special needs people, I'm never going to work with them in my life.
What do you see up there?
I think I knew before anybody else that there was a problem with Hayley, just because in a lot of ways she resembled Janice. So the first time I saw her in the hospital I felt this, and I thought this really isn't fair to Carolyn. Carolyn has dealt with having a handicapped sibling. She's taught handicapped kids. She doesn't need a baby with a handicap.
I have a 3-year-old little boy called Luke, and he's typical, he's fine. And then I have a 1-year-old little girl called Hayley, and Hayley has Prader-Willi syndrome. Prader-Willi syndrome is developmental delays plus a whole bunch of eating issues. I'm a parent of a special needs child, and I know I'm doing the best I can, and I'm sure Luke would say there are things I'm not doing right. And I know in hindsight my mother did the best she can and actually did a very good job.
Now as we approach Hayley's 1st birthday, it's like Janice. You look at the positive and you see what a beautiful child she is and how much she can contribute, and she's my favorite granddaughter now.
Over there. There's a monkey.
The benefits of growing up with Dave and Elaine is a lot of laughter, because you never know what they're going to say, for one thing. I hope you're not going to snore tonight.
No,
You snore, you know that?
I do not.
You do snore.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Do.
Sometimes you even talk.
No, I don't.
It taught me to be a little bit more accepting of others. It taught me humility. It taught me to be less selfish. Our relationship has gone from, say, when I was a child, I was really shy as a child, but then I developed and grew more as a person with Ken around, because it taught me I had to communicate. I had to learn to communicate, and it was great. So I've blossomed as a person because of that. I'm thankful.
My relationship with Janice has improved in that we don't see each other every day, and we can talk about work and other stuff, and my kids love her, and she's a good aunt, and I think we're just not clashing heads.
The thought of just having a sister out there somewhere in an institution, never having known, sort of being a family without a disabled person in the house, just can't imagine how much we would have missed on that.
Now when I look at Carolyn and when I look at Craig and my friend Heather and everybody else, I think, yes, it was hard when they were growing up. And I think of the people I know who have a handicapped sibling, they've become better people. They've learned to cope, they've learned to look at the differences with people.
It'll come to the point where I'll be looking after Ken. So that'll be great. It'll work out really well.
He's been good to me.
Thank you.
But I know, because I love my sister and my brother so much, no matter what their generation is. I'll always be a part of them, and they'll be part of me.
I love you. Night, night. Night, night. Okay, let's go to bed. Your bed.
No.